Warhorse Overland here, doing a walk around on this Colt Light. So this Colt Light is the smallest configuration type trailer that Warhorse builds. This Colt Light does not have the tongue extension. We're doing that for shipping reasons. This is being shipped to New York. We're here in Colorado, which is a good story because this trailer here is going to California. So we have a coast to coast trailers here. The tent on this Colt Light belongs to this Colt here. I put this tent on here because this is a large 85-inch long FSR tent, which is pretty representative of some of the largest tents that you can get. I've had a lot of people talk about or ask me, how big a tent can you put on the Colt Light? You can put any tent you want on the Colt Light. We use the same roof racks on the Colt Light that we do the Colts and the studs. They carry the same dynamic load ratings. There's no issues with stability. So we even have a spare tire here on the back. We're still sitting at around 100 pounds of tongue weight on the Colt Lights. You know, that's not to say that you, with a smaller trailer like the Colt Light, you still need to be cognizant of your load distribution. You know, don't be stacking 45-pound weights in the back. I weigh close to 200 pounds. And if I hang on the back of the tire, which I'm doing right now, the trailer is not moving up. So still very safe. It's going to perform very well on the road. This Colt Light has the Timbren 1-ton HD suspension, which is going to be an extremely smooth ride. We have awning mounts on the driver's side here. The awning mounts retract in and out with this pin, and they slide and locate in with the 1.5 inch by 1.5 inch steel rails for the roof rack. So this FSR tent, like I said, is 85 inches long. I have it justified a little farther forward. Tent manufacturers have a specified distribution on tent bars. This is set to the correct amount. Typically, they don't want like 2/3 of the tent overhanging forward. So we still have some overhang on the back, which is going to provide some good cover under the rear setup there, and then you have obviously good cover on the front. So the Colt Lights, again, we can get a longer extension on the tongue, which is common. These can also facilitate the Colt Expedition tongue box, which I have a few builds with the Expedition tongue box for the Colt underway right now. So in a few months, I'll have detailed videos of those. They are available on the website right now. They're going to be a great addition to both the Colts and the Colt Lights. But in terms of size comparison, you can see the Colt here. So the size comparison between the Colt and the Colt Light, they're the same width, they're the same height, they're the same chassis. The Colt Lights just does not have the side door. So you have a 65-inch total long box on the Colt. You have a 48-inch long total box on the Colt Light with just one rear door. Now this Colt Light, besides having the tire mounted to the rear, we additionally have a driver's side slide out here. You can see there's still an absolute ton of room inside this compartment. Of course, lined with the rubber stall mat that fits perfectly. Just anti-rattle, just does a million and one great things. ARK mounts in the rear, which are standard. So if I were to set this tent up with my family, I would absolutely deploy the rear jacks with the Colt Light, no matter what. You know, you get, you know, kids rolling around all the way here on the back. Just deploy the rear jacks. That's why they're there. They help us assemble the trailers and build the trailers in the process. That's why they're included with the trailer, and they're also great for safety. But we have front ARK jacks here, which has become quite the fad, I've noticed. We have front ARK jacks on this trailer. We have front ARK jacks on this trailer. Additionally, I have front ARK jacks on the Colt, the white Colt back there, which I'll get a detailed video on here in a little bit. Camping this weekend, couldn't find a campsite, got in super late. We had to camp on a slope essentially. I wish I would have had the front jacks on my trailer, which is a stud. It would have leveled things out just a little bit more, nicer. The rear jacks still did a great job. On this trailer, we have the small buyer's toolboxes. On the white trailer over there, there's the large buyer's toolboxes. There's just a slight difference in cost. I think the small ones fit great for this little trailer. Just a ton of extra little storage space there. Now the walls on all the trailers are load bearing, so we have a fuel mount and a propane mount. You totally put those here if you wanted to. You could put a Julka there on the side. You could put other cargo boxes, any other aftermarket fuel or propane canister holder you'd like. If you drill holes in these trailers, just take an equivalent color spray paint can and saturate a piece of paper towel and just kind of stick it in that hole and coat it with paint, and you won't have any rust issues. Really happy with this little guy. Again, totally fine with the large tent. Nothing to worry about. It's gonna do great. And this is gonna make the Subaru customers really happy, the space constrained customers really happy. You know, this thing is a really low footprint. If you have limited space in your garage, you'll find ways to fit this in there. It's very immovable and mobile by hand. The Colts, you can get these things weighing pretty heavy, but these are also mobile by hand. Case in point, I move these in and out of the shop all the time. So any questions, sales@warhorseoverland.com. Again, this is the Colt Light. This is the smallest trailer built by Warhorse Overland. We have the Colt over here, which is the mid-size. Just great looking trailers. Molly panel, rear fold down table here. Since this video is dragging on, I'll just keep rambling. The roofs, thing to point out on the roofs are removable. So in terms of serviceability, and if you do anything crazy with your trailer and you need extra parts, fenders, bolt on, I can send you one of those. Roof, I can send you a roof. The side panels are such a thick steel. If you dent those and mess those up, I gotta know what you're doing, but you should, that's not gonna happen. I shouldn't say not going to happen, but it shouldn't happen. Everything that needs to be welded is welded on. ARK jacks, the axles, any critical component, the hinges. Like, that's the kind of stuff that I overkill and I weld it on. But when it came to roof racks, I couldn't bring myself to design something that needed to be welded on. I wanted something that's serviceable, that's going to be something maintainable for long term, and it's not something that you're going to be pigeonholed into, and also it's not just going to rattle apart. So there's a lot of durability and a lot of thought went into one durability and long-time serviceability as well. So thanks for watching. Again, sales@warhorseoverland.com, website warhorseoverland.com. Thanks for watching.